5 seconds remaining.
And we're back for the conclusion of our second best of 3 of the night. The first was kind of one-sided. This time it looked like it could have potentially gone that way as DK absolutely rocked LV Gaming in Game 1. LV, though, well, they returned the favor in kind in Game 2, completely took control about midway through the laning phase and never let up. And now, Game 3 on the way. LV already with 1 win in Eastern play. DK making their premiere, taking the place of newbie, hoping to take their place and make that premiere in style. I'm your host here in AC Chambers, joined by Trout as always for the broadcast. Already a draft that, well, it's fun. Bristleback going to be making an appearance once again. Skywrath Mage is with him. Brewmaster picked up very early by DK, and once again, that Crystal Maiden pick showing itself.
Yeah, it worked out really well for them the first time, and Bristleback not working out so well. The second game here for DK, picked up this time by LV in the first 2. So the Bristleback is valued very highly between these two teams in this series, at least. I find that very interesting. In Game 1, it obviously worked out. They rushed the Crimson Guard both times. Curious to see who plays on LV Gaming and what the kind of build they decide to do.
Yeah, the last time that Crystal Maiden came in, we actually saw just how effective it really can be, so long as you can shore up a couple of her major issues. One, I mean, she's super strong. Still, you know, despite all of the changes that have taken place, if you go back 2.5, 3 years ago when I first started casting Dota, it was always said the Crystal Maiden was one of the strongest heroes in the entire game, levels 1 through 5, and that maintains a certain sort of truth to it. I mean, she is a little weaker as the game itself has developed, as more heroes have hit the support pool, but she has a lot of options in terms of how you want to play her. Do you want to just kind of play back defensively with her? She can jungle and so on. She can be played relatively defensively, but she works best whenever she's getting a lot done early on, shores up her movement speed issues, shores up just how easy it is to get her behind and to have her fall off. And I'm anxious to see DK once again handle the Maiden. The Bristleback, though, and, you know, while we're waiting on the ban phase, second ban phase to complete here, Bristleback is one of those heroes I would have always described as just miserable. When you're playing against a well-played Bristleback, he is a miserable pain to cope with. Why do you think he's making a more of an appearance now, not just in this series, but I am seeing more of him in general? Why do you think that is, and how do you think the hero fits into things?
It's hard to answer the first question. I don't really know. Maybe it's because some of these Chinese teams, they really value the Crimson Guard item in general. So if you're looking for a carrier to, well, carry the item, I would say Bristleback is like the #1 contender. It's hard for me to think of anyone that would want to pick up a Vanguard naturally more than him. And so the transition from Vanguard to Crimson Guard is just so natural and easy to do on Bristleback. So maybe that's why. Maybe they just think that Crimson Guard's a very valuable item in most matchups. And so why not get it on a hero that picks it up with relative ease?
Well, we'll see if that's going to be the direction they decide to go. LV this time going to get the Morphling for themselves. It was CTY for DK who played the hero to, well, depending on which game you watched, either very high effectiveness or, well, to be honest, even in Game 2, though, whenever they were more or less shut down, he was where he wanted to be in farm, despite the fact that the map was more or less crumbling around him, so far as map control, so far as security and everything else. So picking that away, taking it away from him, I think is a solid call as well. The Brewmaster, obviously a hero you tend to see mid, but the last time we saw Crystal Maiden and Brewmaster, just moments ago, well, hours ago, I guess, was in a duo lane. So very, very strong in that regard too.
Yeah, I think Brew is pretty good against Bristle in general. Just because in fights you can just throw them up in the air and ignore them. I think that's the best way to play against Bristle until you have sufficient damage, or if the Bristle, like we saw last game, was just so shut down early on that it doesn't matter. He does not going to do anything in a team fight anyway. So if he's having a great game, Brewmaster can just throw him up in the air. If not, Bristleback probably can't come to the fight anyway, or he'll just die. So
gotcha.
Like the Brewmaster pickup. Ancient Apparition, a very standard pickup against the Morphling. Gotta wonder why LV didn't ban it out if they knew they were going to pick it up in the second phase, because it is so strong against Morphling. For obvious reasons, if you don't know, it stops the actual Morphing spell. So normally Morphlings try to get away. Even through stuns, they can still morph through strength, but you can't do that with the ALT on you.
Right. The fourth pickup for LV is Puck, and just thinking in my head, like, anytime I'm playing and I'm pubbing or whatever and I see a Bristleback, my first inclination, I always want to pick a Pugna, and just thinking how good a Pugna would actually be. against this lineup. I actually really like the way Pugna matches up against the Bristle. It's so confounding, and certainly would blow the face off a Skywrath Mage trying to use his ulti, but really nowhere to put him. I would imagine they're still looking for CTY's hero here, and I want to see what they decide to put him on.
The Pugna's Netherworld would have his work cut out for him between the Morphling and the Bristleback, because if Morphling morphs, is just same thing with the Bristleback spamming those quills. That would be fun to watch.
Yep, it's fun, man. Like, just the strength of life drain. There's not many heroes who Bristle can dive if he's ahead and be okay, but if you're like a poor Pugna, even a support Pugna playing under your tower, and the Bristle decides to be cute by himself and try to snatch you and dive you, just turn and steal his health, and he can't put the damage out quick enough to keep up with it most of the time. And I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky and get to see it, but PA makes sense. And it's getting reacquainted with the new look DK. I knew how CTY as a hero liked to play. He originally again was in mid. That's how he got noticed, winning a 1v1 mid tournament against the cream of the Chinese crop of mid players, including Ferrari 430. But then for a little while he was moved to carry and was playing out in the side lanes. It looks like now they want to put him in more of an RTZ role. Let him just farm that mid lane hard.
I think mid and mid roles and one position roles are relatively similar in the way that you approach the lane. It's mostly about, at least in this metagame, just getting the creeps. Whereas before, as we're starting to slowly see it come back to the more standard puck versus quap lineups in mid, but generally it's still mostly about spamming, bottle crow, spam. And the reason why you spam is because it makes it safe for you. Like, it's hard for supports to come gank you when you've already pushed out the lane, right? That's why heroes like DP were so popular for so long, and still is popular.
Yep, it's one reason she got nerfed as well.
Exactly.
Having Crypt Swarm nerfed a bit makes it her a little less of an auto 1v1 lane win in that regard.
Yep, and Puck here picked up for LV, Phantom Assassin. Last two bans are Lich. I've seen Lich banned out, I think, every single game in this series so far. And
he's so good at screwing up lanes.
It really is. I used to not be the biggest fan of Lich, and I've been seeing a lot more. I've tried it out in scrims as well, and I've actually, I see why people like the Lich pick. I don't think Lich falls off as hard as I'd normally at first thought. I think he's still effective in the late stage of the game. But anyway, Tree and Protector is the last pickup here for LV.
Yeah, the Tree pickup rounding up the lineup. They got a fair amount of team fight here. They are going to be very survivable on top of everything else. Morphling with his ability to morph into strength, Bristleback by nature of how the hero works, and a Tree and Protector to lend living armor to the squishies, the Skywrath and the Puck, if and when they should need it. And it's going to be a Wind Ranger pickup to round things out for DK. How do you feel about Wind Ranger right now? She, to me anyway, has felt like a tweener. If you keep up with traditional sports at all, it's a word that if you have a player who's really good at some things, but is just not quite good enough at anything to be really, really good. Like, maybe a person's really strong, but they're a little bit naturally undersized by genetics, or maybe they're really quick, but they have bad hands, or they don't have the mental game together. These tweener kind of picks that can't really find a good position. Like, Wind Ranger can be played as a mid, and that's fine, but how does she put that mid advantage to use? If she does play well, she can play off lane, but how much are you really counting on getting out of her by picking her over something even like a Puck off lane? That kind of tweener position. Like, do you agree, or do you think maybe she's on the rise? No,
I agree. I think she's extremely strong in lane. Like, 1v1 matchup, she's one of the best. Her animation, like when I first started playing Dota, and I wasn't used to a bit slower animation and everything, I always picked Wind Ranger, or Wind Runner at the time. Because her animation was so clean and crisp. It's kind of like, I think Prophets is very, very good. The Furion, I think his animation is good. So her ability in 1v1s is fantastic. Her laning phase presence is good, but I agree. In the mid game, she's all about that shackle, and if you can't latch those, she just seems meh. So I'm not the biggest fan of Wind Ranger in general, but and also there's some pretty good tools against her. Like, she can't Wind Run away from the Tree and Protector if he gets that overgrowth. Puck is a fantastic hero against Wind Ranger, so that's kind of weird that they pick it last into that. So, yeah, I can't say I'm the biggest fan of it, but I'm open to the idea.
I don't even know what you do. Like you said, the problem is, it's like, well, if you hit your shackles, you're good, or you could just pick a hero who stuns two heroes more easily.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Thought Demons was going to be engaged. Thought for sure we were going to see a Frost Nova, but not going to be the case. We'll see a Sentry Ward drop to block the pull camp, though.
I think Wind Runner could work very well, like mostly in the mid lane, if it's a very confident player playing it. But off lane, I think people get into this groove where they're like, oh yeah, Wind Ranger, she can do very, very well off lane, but I actually don't think she's as good as people think she is in the off lane. She has the win run and everything, but she's pretty squishy. Like right now with 2 Iron Branches, she's under 500 HP. So
yeah, might have a run at ZYF early, as Cold Snap's already in position. CTY right there has already skilled Stifling Dagger. Here we go, Dagger, and now has to try. No, I'm not even gonna try. CTY's nope. Mistimed there, and it looked like there might have been a bit of miscommunication too. He pinged him to indicate that he wanted him to throw the dagger. If that was well communicated, you'd think the dagger would have been thrown much earlier than the Ancient Apparition showing himself. Nonetheless, ZYF still alive.
Actually, that was a pretty cool combo. If he had leveled up Phantom Strike, he gets those max attacks, the 4 of them, and it works really well with the buff that Cold Snap actually put on there with the Chilling Touch, because you have 3 attacks. So bam, 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 you get all those attacks in from Chilling Touch. Maybe it would have actually worked out if he skilled at Phantom Strike, but usually you get the Stifling Dagger just so you can get the extra CS.
Yep. Well, it's going to be a try-on-try, and there's going to be a lot of kill potential in both of them. So look forward to another fairly volatile lane, though it's not a try-on-try anymore. It's Demons. I thought he was just backing off. Honestly, I didn't know what he was doing, but he's going to go ahead and pass all the way through mid and make this a duo lane. And how do you feel about this adjustment? I mean, Lynn obviously on the Bristleback, fairly survivable. DDC can stay at range. I think I like this so long as they do not mess up and give away a death.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think it's mostly because they don't have the pole counter-warded. So they don't have the pole to work with. So that means Tree's just going to sit there and do absolutely nothing and get low levels. He's going to sap experience from the 2 of them. I actually like this decision.
They're going to kill Black. At bottom. Got the wind run off, but speaking of squishy, pretty sure there was a real smart guy I knew who was just talking about that.
Yeah.
She ends up dropping.
Probably good looking too.
Yeah, amazing pipes. Give us that opera voice. But yeah, so Wind Ranger drops and Tree picks himself up an Invis. Now he's going to have enough mana for another Leech Seed in a moment.
Oh, he can kill mid. He can easily
yeah.
kill mid. And they don't have a ward down here to see this, so... Oh, the deadly 2-minute Invis rune, feared by all. Yep, he is dead.
CTY might have died anyway. Like, if ZYF just decided to waveform and stay on top of him, because they timed it so well. You see this creep wave? I'm pretty sure he's got a point. No, he actually doesn't have a point in a Blink or Phantom Strike, so it's irrelevant. Never mind.
Yeah, normally you want the blur, just it's such a value point at level 1 from 0% to 20% evasion, which is just fantastic. But yep, the dreaded 2-minute Invis rune kills everybody, man. And when you don't have vision of it, it's like almost a guaranteed kill. Could have gone bottom too to get the kill too, but obviously getting a kill on CTY in mid to help your Morphling is probably more important.
And Cold Snap. Not sure if that was intentional or unintentional. They're going to go. Frost Nova's there. There's the immediate Chilling Touch, and DDC just melted. Got him. And Lin can't do anything. Goo a little bit and hope that maybe the tower does some damage. Even he has his health eaten down to about 1/3. So, on the board is DK, putting this combo of, again, the Brewmaster and the Crystal Maiden, which, to be honest, is looking very effective.
I'm wondering if he lives there with a living armor. I know it's only level 1, but actually Cold Snap had a lot of trouble. A few more auto attacks and he should die.
Black's dead again, I think. And oh wow, I was actually not watching top. They should get Black down here. Up the top, they're going to continue to pursue him out. They get the Bristle down at bottom, still sticking with Black. And yep, there you go. Shackle actually might end up killing. Nope, never mind. No, he does end up dying. So Tree ends up biffing it, but they still trading him for a Wind Ranger, and Puck getting all of that XP. Certainly going to be considered a win for LV.
Yep, and Flame walking towards the bottom room will get the bounty. Unfortunately, Morphling's going to have to bottle Crow, but he's already looking pretty healthy. And yeah, this is bad for the Wind Ranger. We were just talking about it, but I don't know, man. Wind Ranger, especially with a bad start, just seems like she does nothing in the mid game. We'll have to wait and see. But now Puck's got 70 damage on him, as opposed to about the 64 of Black. Has the nukes, and once he gets the coil, Black cannot run away. It does not matter. Has to just kind of sit there, and if he breaks, it's even better for Puck. So, yep.
Meantime, Dreamy U doing all right. Honestly, he's not as farmed as I would think he would have been with the kill potential in this lane. He's sitting at 14 CS at the moment. He and Wind Ranger are right about at the same pace as each other. 2 coming from behind, Cold Snap and XBG. Let's see if they want to try to make a run at someone. DDC, I feel like, has to play pretty far back. Like, if they're actually going to try to farm Lin like they have been, I think he needs to be a bit further back than he has been. Demons is still hanging around mid. But Dreamy U, just going CS for CS with him for the most part. 15 for 15.
Yep, there could be some possible action. He actually misses the slow. He made it. My animation screwed up. Sorry about that. But
no worries. It didn't matter. I feel like that was kind of a waste of mana. Like that was a very wishful thinking. You know, he has to assume Skyrest's going to get a concussive shot off. So the Brew not being in range to hit the clap right after that, I think
they're giving up. They're somewhat giving up. They're actually just going to put this Crystal Maiden bottom now, or potentially look for a kill.
It'll be a good one if they can get it. It's just going to be tough.
Oh, he can shackle right there. Ooh. He could have got out.
He's just trying to wear him out. Living armor and the coil. And, the shackle. Beautiful phase shift from Inflame. That secures him a kill. And he's going to end up dead as CTY did abandon that mid lane to come and make sure it happened. But the Puck getting that kill before, and that's so much dedicated to that because now CTY's got to hoof it back, and this has left the Morphling alone, even though he is more ruining than farming at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't just stay bottom, but oh well.
Oh, cold snap. This is where you can put that Brew to use. Good silence that time on the Brewmaster, and here comes CYF to help him out. No level 6 on the Brew, but still preventing the clap. Guaranteed that kill on the AA. Well played.
Yeah, I feel like Black Z had an opportunity to get a nice shackle shot amidst that and used it way too late and actually missed it. So, unfortunately,
I think it was phase shifted, actually.
Yeah.
I think he would have hit it if it wasn't for the phase shift.
Yeah, definitely. It hit the creep, but yeah, I agree with you. Probably would have hit him. And here comes Phase Boots in Flame on the Puck. Places an aggressive aura. I actually don't think they spotted that out. So now he has vision of this Crystal Maiden, can play accordingly. And he's going to do a lot of extra damage. He's hitting for about 100 damage, 99 to be exact.
That's pretty fair at this stage.
And he can be, like, this thing about Treant Protector, too. You can just be so much more aggressive on heroes like Puck because you have that safety net with the living armor, so.
We're at 7 minutes in, 10 kills, split 6-4. LV has the advantage there. How about we take a look, see how the Golden Experience are shaking out, about what you would expect. Actually, a little higher than you would expect, as they're just being more efficient across the board, it seems. About 2,000 gold lead, and Lynn caught with the clap and no follow-up. Now, they may decide to try to go on Dreamy and Cold Snap, as they've rotated Demons to hook up with DDC. And it doesn't look like they're aware. They do have a ward here, so they are aware. Never mind. So just continuing to play a little forward.
Yep, and level 4 now up on the Demons. He's opted out of getting more points in the lead sheet, which is always like, it's a hard decision to make because the value point nature's guys is so important. But I don't know if you remember, but some time ago they've nerfed Treant Protector. That lead sheet is no longer like quote unquote a value point. Like it's not that strong at level 1. You definitely want to level it up. So Rune coming up,
strong at level 1.
It's still not bad. Oh, CTY could be in trouble.
Silenced out, Dreamy U's coming over to try to help out. There's going to be a waveform in from ZYF, and he's going to try to Phantom Strike his way to safety. ZYF eating a lot of damage in the meantime, and they managed to bail him out. And there's another Stifling Dagger. Doesn't look like they're all that interested in re-engaging, though, so that's kind of a big deal. That looked like it could have been an easy kill for LV, and what? What just happened?
Puck just died.
By himself to Crystal Maiden?
To the Crystal Maiden and some damage from Black Sea, but yep, nice kill there for the Radiant team.
Okay, so Black was there though. I thought he just solo died to the Crystal Maiden. Never mind.
Yeah, but he has core left in 13 seconds. Maybe he can make a run at bottom when he comes up. And Black Sea's gonna have to run away, but that's Phase Boots now. If he gets caught in a coil, I'm pretty sure he's dead though. So he's got to be careful here.
Yep, not even enough mana for a wind run. Very close though. Inflame does have coil, as you mentioned, and is farming quite well. Null Talisman, Phase, and Bottle done for him. Still just level 3.5 on this Ancient Apparition, so he's beginning to get outclassed a bit in terms of support levels. He is the lowest on the board. Even the Treant Protector, who has been spending a lot of time walking around, has eclipsed him in that regard. Yeah. But
I actually think Treant needs more levels. Like, he's getting levels very slowly. The CM is right on par with where he should be. He got a nice kill that helped him out, but Treant Protector level 4, I mean, you just talked about how the AA was behind, and he definitely is, but Treant Protector really benefits from levels early on, and I thought he would have more, actually, with some good rotations bottom.
A little bit of a slow reaction there. They may have killed Cold Snap if Demons had come out a little bit quicker. He does have brown boots, but hold on, DK. Ooh, so close to level 6 for Dreamy U, and he's going to walk right into 2. Gets off the clap, DDC, can't do much. Now he's going to turn around, try to do what he can to slow this down. Demons with Nature's Guys should be safe at least temporarily. But DK bringing down DDC before he can do anything to punish them for that. They walked right into it and able to capitalize.
Yep, Puck with a rotation up top too. Just TPs in. He's trying to find something, but if they backed off appropriately, and as you mentioned, the Panda did not expend the ulti, and has enough for it now. And because of the helpful Bristleback just spamming quills, he actually has enough with that 7-stick charge. So, an unfortunate rotation. There's a smoke ink of their own. They're going to find Crystal Maiden. Do they want to use the coil? Yes, they do.
All right, they got to clean him up quick. Help's coming very, very soon. And she's feeling a little bit tanky. Even uses the wand charges. Look at that, still alive. Gets off the frostbite, and now here comes Brew. Brew has split. This could be a double kill if they can track down Inflame. Good phase shift on the rock. Demons is going to die behind the fight, most certainly. Let's see. No, they're going to turn and try to engage on Lynn. The Courier barely makes it away, by the way. Was actually heading into that fight. And Lynn doing quite well dealing with the Panda ulti, so not worried about that. Dreamy U at CTY hooking up in mid to make sure they stay safe. So they end up going 1 for 2 there as they lost their Ancient Apparition as well. I didn't even see how he died.
He died to the Morphling. Morphling came in, A had no more mana, so nice rotation there from CYF. Not exactly the most effective Panda ulti. It took him some time, and yeah, it's very easy to phase shift that boulder. It comes out so slow, but
yeah.
Yeah, Puck is also one of those heroes that's just simply good against Panda. Panda can't really...
EDC, just fed. He's going to be avenged by Inflame, most definitely, yeah. Damage is more than enough to bring him down before the TP completes, but that was just walking up to a Wind Ranger. He walked up and stood, like, right here and got shackled and power shotted to death.
Yep, Living Armor. There is no ulti up on a Dream U. Coil is up in 8 seconds. If they can stay on, they can get a kill, but no, there's no Blink Dagger from Puck. He's actually got it in about 200 gold, so it's really good for him.
Want to see him get more use out of his next ult, I think. Like you said, it was kind of a waste. It wasn't that big of a win when it could have been. CTY comes in and, wow, actually gets silenced, but he has a haste, so he's not worried. Nonetheless, the Morphling takes the tower kill. Let's take a look at the net worth. He's actually on top of CTY by about 700 gold at 12 minutes in.
Yep, CTY did go for the Midas, which I do like. I do like very much here. And he tried to make a cutesy play with the Blink Strike on the creeps and then one attack for the tower deny, but couldn't quite get it. Nicely tried, though, from CTY, and he has his treads on the way, so feeling pretty tanky. Has 1 death under his belt, but level 10 right now. Is that the highest in the game? No, it's tied with the Puck. So
yep.
Still doing very, very well for himself.
Puck's in great shape. Just finished up his Blink Dagger. He's 3rd in terms of overall net worth. He's actually right there on par with the PA. And I feel like they're going to be happy with what ZYF has walked away from mid with. He's actually gone straight up for a Yasha instead of rushing out the Lincolns. What do you think?
On the Morphling?
Yep.
Oh, let's see. Well, looking at the heroes of DK, there's not many... Actually, I don't think Lincoln's is that bad. Except it'll get canceled out very easily from the PA. So I think that's fine. You just have to be very careful about the shackle shot. I would say most of the time Yash is just generally better for fighting and farming because it gives you more stats early on and the extra movement speed. But I think it's mostly just because the PA can cancel out Lincoln's fast and very easily.
We just saw an example in top lane of an issue that DK is going to have to cope with. They don't have a lot of lockdown, a lot of direct lockdown. If they hit a shackle, which is a big if, and the Frostbite is basically all they have, and maybe a Cold Feet proc if they can get one of the first 2 off. Side of LV, they don't have a lot of quote-unquote direct stun lockdown, but they sure do have a lot of ways to confound people. With the Waning Rift, with Coil, the Overgrowth, and so on, a ulti will be on the mark. And looks like they want to try to defend, perhaps, top. This bottom tower should die freely. They do not have a glyph for tier 1 at top. Lynn's there by himself. Check that. Inflame came as well. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to back off here.
Yeah, big win there for LV. And I can't but agree with you and just think, I'm looking at this Windrunner, I'm like, what if this was like a Tide? And they have reason to go team fight or have some power in these team fights, but their initiation's Panda ult, and that's it. It's like, let's I mean, Panda ult is good, don't get me wrong, but they could have so much more with a Tide or Clockwork initiation, even a Centaur initiation with... I think Centaur was banned out, actually, but... yeah, I'm not sold on the Windrunner pick. And her farm is just... it's mediocre. It's 3,400 right in the middle of the pack.
Again, just a tweener hero. She's got the potential for play to make big plays, especially if you get like a Blink or a Force Staff on her. And in the right hands, we've seen a Windrunner just dominate games, be it EGM back in the day, Funnick, especially if you want to go that far back to when he ran a lot of Windrunner. His was unbelievably good. But, you know, now just the way the game is, the way she's been balanced, seems like she wants a core position, but is she really worth a core position over more effective cores that'll give you very close to what she's going to accomplish and oftentimes much, much more? I don't know. In mid, they're going to go on ZYF and woo, very nice way for him to get him to safety. He did get hit by the Ice Blast, but made it to the high ground before they could follow up.
Yep, actually Dendy comes to mind as a fantastic Windrunner player.
Exactly.
I remember watching him at mid, just really, really impressed me. But here comes an aggressive smoke here from DK, actually. That was a very weird shackle.
That's a shackle you wish would have hit, but now, again, they're going to come back in. They're going to try to make this happen. Mystic Player's going to be off the mark. There's going to be an overgrowth from Demons. In the meantime, they end up losing the Skywrath Mage. XBG being chased down and cleaned up. The Panda ulti still in effect. There's a shackle. Hard to miss when it's that close. CTY makes it a double kill for himself, and now Black Z going to be able to retrieve. ZYF still pecking away at Dreamy U. He's got Inflame and Lin there just to help him out. And once again, a couple of shackles make it 2. But can they do anything? Ice Blast is there. Not the target you wanted to be hitting with that, though. They are following it up with a decent amount of spam between the dagger and the power shot, but they ended up losing the Brew and brought down 2. But again, just imagine if that Windrunner, like you said, we're a Tide Hunter. Imagine if he had Ravage right there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the shackle shot did hit one time, and there is very good damage from the power shot, but yeah, I do agree with you in general. So definitely a one fight there for LV. They expended the Panda ulti, but they still got a 2-for-2 exchange, 1 core, 1 support for 2 supports. At least CTY is still farming, but Morphling's farming faster and just has a better team composition. I really feel this.
According to the kill score, it's a very close game. According to every other metric, it is swinging in favor of LV the more time goes by. And you know, not to beat the horse, it's not just the Wind Ranger, it's the Crystal Maiden as well. Crystal Maiden, when she stays on par with the rest of the board, is very effective. XBG has showed us that already once tonight, but he's down near the bottom of the levels now. Geez, that Brewmaster is ridiculously underleveled. He's level 8.5.
Yeah, well, he got tri-laned, and it seems weird for us because, oh, hold up, thought CTY is in a lot of trouble.
This guy, if they want to have any chance, can't die like that. Just can't. There's going to be a shackle that ends up catching Demons. Let's see if they can follow it. Should be at least 1 kill, and it will be. But trading CTY for a tree is not acceptable. Let's see if Black can make a play and shut us both up. Let's see it, buddy. Wind Ranger? Nope. Nothing to shackle to. Behind that, though, they're going to catch out XBG. Shackle that time caught ZYF. Do they have anything to follow? Brew is going to have ulti in 10 seconds. Will it last that long? Nope, never mind. One's going to be able to make it away as the Morphling replicates out. XBG saved by his teammates, but it's frantic at this point just to keep everyone still standing. LV keeping the pressure up, freeing the map up, and Lin is going to be getting large and in charge as he is going for the Crimson Guard.
I think Morphling actually could have stayed there and just strength morphed and then used his spam because there was no mana on AA, there was no mana on Panda. They were just scared because they didn't have the Bristleback with them, so they were fighting 4-on-5. And they got the tower top, so no harm, no foul. He's still farming. He now has a... Morphling picked up something. He picked up a Ghost Scepter. So I wonder if this is just a casual Yasha into a Ethblade. Not quite sure. Ethblade's fantastic this game, not for the damage, but just for saving someone from the Phantom Assassin.
Yep, very much agree. And it does look like it'll be a Naker's Yasha.
Naker's Yasha.
Naker's Yasha. The Roshan attempt, well underway, helps have a DD on your Morphling. And the Rosh already down to 1/4. No way DK can stop this, even if they do know what's going on. As they're just going to be tardy to the party. They've smoked, and right about now, they're not happy about this smoke attempt. They're going to rush Lin right up the hill. Looks like he wanted to try to start a fight, but DK hesitated in heading towards the pit, and because of that, everyone remains alive except for Roshan.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get too much from this smoke. Where's the Panda? As you were mentioning, yeah, Panda's still level 8. It's just simply because we see him so often in the mid-roll where he gets solo experience, but
he really needs it, though.
He really does. Like, the Panda just seems so underwhelming at level 1. I mean, it's great, right, when you get the blink, but... Oh, CTY in trouble. No BKB up for him.
And they're going to clean him up relatively easily. Follow-ups there. Let's see if they can get a return kill. Inflame could die. They're going to get the tree as well. Good ulti from the Crystal Maiden. And if they get Lin, this is going to be a big win for them. Losing CTY sure is a drag, but Nice when you can drag the fight out and find 3 additional kills, including a Bristleback who is really quite farmed at this stage of the game, given his situation. ZYF was not a part of any of that. But, let's see, I mean, CTY, he's still there. He's still near the top of the net worth. He just has to quit dying.
I mean, he's close to BKB. When he gets that, I think it's going to change. But these AA blasts have been just amazing in these team fights. I don't think I've seen one really miss. Like, I feel like every single one has been 3 heroes or plus. So Cold Snap doing very well for his team, showing that AA is a top pick, at least in the Eastern team right now, and showing just how strong it is. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the most... Oh, no, actually, with some kills, he's got 1,900 gold, so if he wants to go for an Ags, which I think still is the best build. I see so many different builds on AA as of late, like 4 staffs, mech. I just think, like, Ags is just meant for AA, like, with the recent change.
Oh, yeah, well, there's no reason not to.
It's not so much for the damage, but it changes the duration, like, to a static, even level 1, what, 14 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, something ridiculous.
16, it's really long.
Well, and it helps him get over the whole, like, oh, I got hit twice and I died because I'm Ancient Apparition part of the hero, you know? It's like, if you decide to go, I mean, Yule's is nice, and the 4 staff, as you said, the mobility, but it doesn't really do a whole lot to keep him in a fight, and he can be effective if he just hangs around fights long enough for some things to come off of cooldown. And very often in late game especially, if he's able to get off 2 ultis, which will happen when some of those fights get drug out around tier 3s and the such, I mean, it's just tremendous possibilities for him and his impact on any fight. Speaking of impact, there's going to be a bit of it as the shotgun just about done. ZYF heading on up to the armory, going to pick up the last piece of the puzzle. Bingo. Nice, and there's the BKB for PEA. So that'll be good for him. There's the Blade. Couldn't quite take out Cold Snap as he did not hit the waveform. Ulti coming out just to piss him off a little bit, but yeah, and it is going to be the Acceptor here for the AA. So he agrees with us in that AA is a hero that utilizes the Acceptor extremely well, especially against him Morphling. One thing I think is going to be immensely important for DK, if they're going, or excuse me, for LV, if they're going to be able to cope with the DK, well, I don't know. There's so many targets. Like, obviously, the Crystal Maiden and the Ancient Apparition are 2 super squishy targets, at least until that Scepter's done. Although he is tanking up a bit now with the Point Booster. Hold on. XBG, wrong part of town at night. Hit with the Overgrowth and the Mystic Flare. Right there to accompany it. And 14-14 after that. But, who do you... Let me... I can't even get it out. CTY going to be engaged. Pops his BKB. Freshly completed. Going toe-to-toe with ZYF. Does not have a lot of mana. And Dreamy U's right there with him. LV could end up giving quite a bit back. And the Shackle coming from Black Z just in the south. Aegis was just about to expire. And now they're going to try to turn it around as ZYF is back up and ready to fight. There's the Storm aspect tossing up the Bristleback. CTY still going to work. Doing what he can. Stone was just thrown to keep going back and forth trying to confuse the Panda. And Inflame next to drop, so DK doing a decent job of turning this around off of the Panda ulti. And LV not going to be super happy with that, losing their puck. Yeah, that's not over just yet. Ooh, got him on the Invis tree. Big Shackle. And Black says, shut up, AC and Trough. As now they're pursuing out Lens, slow from behind. And they should be able to, oh yeah. Frostbite and the ulti. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. He's gonna die. Woo. Oh my god, he almost got an ultra kill. Yeah, I know. That could have been 2 or 3. I mean, literally almost all 4 heroes died in the same, like, steps of HP. Oh my god. I've never heard that reaction. You and I have been casting together on and off for a while now. I've never heard that reaction from you. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, that could have been so scary. That would have been one of the top plays ever. Yeah, you just robbed us of a lot of VOD views by not getting the ultra kill, bro. Come on, I know, please. Seriously. Like, the funny thing is, that if they backed off for a second to where Bristleback could press his Quill Spray one more time, like, shit, don't do this anymore. Like, he's gonna kill us all. He would have actually killed them all. So, good persistence to say, damn it, we're gonna get this kill before we all die, because it would have been quite embarrassing. But nice Shackle shot, as he did shut us up. But still, right after the Shackle shot, it's like just clockwork, man. The AA Blast comes every single time. It's like he anticipates it to hit. He's like, even if it doesn't hit, I'm going to assume it does, because otherwise my AA Blast is going to be useless. And it hits, and then the AA Blast becomes very effective. Well, I mean, at the angle they were pursuing as well, I tell you the truth, I mean, in the midst of the action, I'm not even sure how he stopped. I know how he aimed it. Even if it didn't hit, I probably would have caught one or two at least who were still running through that general plane of territory. So, again, just really nice play from Cold Snap on the AA, as you've mentioned. And take a look at ZYF. His net worth, not the tops anymore. Believe it or not, CTY has eclipsed him.
Yep, that Midas is kicking in, not to mention with the big one-team fight. And as far as items here, since he's not going for the Battle Fury, I would think that Basher would be quite effective here. Actually, you know what? Manta is very. I would definitely 100% get Manta. Because you don't want to use your BKB to get out of stupid things like the silence or the overgrowth. You need to use your Manta, which doesn't go down in the duration, or sorry, the duration for that. So Manta 100% is what I think he should go.
Well, we'll find out soon. He's got 2,600 gold, and he's about to have more as the Midas is just about off cooldown as well. He'll run into the jungle to use that most certainly. It looks like for the moment both teams content to sit back and farm it up and hit creeps and build stuff. Play a little Minecraft. 2,800 gold for him. We'll keep an eye and see what.
Something tells me he is going to go Basher, but I really feel like Manta is the way to go.
Yeah.
We'll see. If he wants Basher, he could buy it right now. So, but he could also buy the Yasha right now if he wanted. So who knows?
Counter warning and flame spotted. Phase shift just to be safe and get the blink off cooldown. And let's see if they actually want to fight it here. They've been spending a little time. They kind of scatter then group up in mid, and it looks like they think about potentially going on a target or trying to cross the river. Just hasn't been reality yet. Demons is there, using Nature's Guise to walk alongside ZYF. Dreamy U going to be making his way over. Could get himself killed if he's not really careful. He's going to waveform through. Half of his health is gone. And again, remember, that tree is there, but just going to leave him alone. Thought maybe the tree would come in and try to overgrowth, but not going to be the case. And he did have enough mana. Okay, he just clapped. I was going to say he didn't have enough mana for his ulti, but he actually did before that.
Yeah, despite him being 4-1-7, the Brewmaster's actually very underfarmed. He's going for BKB now, which I do think is the correct decision, but yeah, you'd hope to have a little bit more farm on him. It's okay, though. The PA is picking up his slack. And oh, wait, did he? Oh, he was hiding something. I'm completely wrong then. Okay, I was like, yeah, he seems a little underfarmed. This would make more sense. So, yeah, BKB completed. So, nope, he's right on par.
Smoke incoming, I do believe. Dreamy U and Black Z standing right on top of Cold Snap. Here comes XBG. They're going to bait out CTY, and there it is. Let's see where they want to run. CTY serving as a target there. He's going to perhaps farm greedily. They're going to loop around as handy dandy drawing on the map for us. Hoping they can catch someone trying to punish him for that, or even just trying to grab some XP. That's going to be a Deso build on CTY BT dubs.
Huh.
So just wants to blow people up, man. Does not want to fool around with none of your fancy illusions stuff. No RNG, Just want negative armor and big red numbers.
I mean, he will put out a lot of damage, that's for sure. So yeah, it'll definitely work, I'm sure. If that puck illusion was still there, or the replicate, they might have gone on it. But
speaking of going on, DDC gone in a flash.
God.
Demons was right there. Actually threw the leech seed on the Dreamy U. He is silenced for the moment. They may decide to engage us. They're between towers right now. XBG in some trouble, and ZYF, as we see, has that haste rune. The Brew has his ulti, is yet to expend it. Coming back in, the puck along the side, the top of it. Dreamy U could still ulti if he wants to. Very weird, broken up fight that time, as we saw ZYF come in and then just run away with a haste rune. But they get the Skywrath Mage basically for free.
Yeah, well, and then the CM dies as well, but 1-for-1 exchange. Nothing too huge was expended. I saw Tree there just waiting to cast his ulti, but he figured that saving it would be better. If he saves it for after the BKB on PA, that's the golden opportunity right there. That's why I wanted to see a Manta up onto the CTY. But if he can one-shot heroes, I guess it doesn't matter. It's more things going to quickly replicate at the bottom.
Just as the cooldown was expiring as well. And Inflame going to be spotted here, though. He just used his orb as well. He's going to phase shift. No, actually, he blinked. Thought he phase shift for a second, then was going to blink, but makes it away safely. He's going to have a Hex up very soon if he wants it. He's got 3,800 gold tucked away. He's
got to be so careful, because despite him being very elusive with phase, blink, phase shift, and the Yules, he has 900 HP. I'm quite sure he could literally get one shot by a PA right now.
Yeah.
So he needs to get an ulti orb up or something.
Speaking of the PA, level 17 is the highest on the board right now. Level 3 coup de grace. Ready to draw upon. Tops in net worth. And they may think of Roshan here soon. If they can get a pick anywhere, I bet they just rush straight for Roche. In fact, the Brewmaster, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Vlad's was his next pickup.
Sure, yeah. Definitely works well with the Deso build onto PA.
What would you prefer, the Vlad's or the Assault QS?
Well, Vlad's because he's not farming that fast. And the lifesteal is very, very important for PA in some sense. He could still technically get the Satanic, just to pop it for the active ability, but probably not going to. But yeah, he definitely does need Vlad's.
Trying to siege this tier 1, Black Sea up there, and we'll go ahead and use the wind run to tank a little bit and do a little bit of damage. Unwilling to commit so far as a DK. They know they're getting to that point in the game where, you know, they're in good shape, but they can't afford to give up too many fights. They just cannot. And we can see it is still LV Gaming's game in terms of lead and golden XP. And even though it seems like a much longer game because of the kill count, we're only 30 minutes in, so there's still a whole lot that can happen on both sides.
Yeah, kind of a stalemate right now, but we'll have to see if LV wants to go in for Roshan. They can't do it right now with lanes pushing. If they push out mid and bottom and someone TP's top on DK, I think that's their signal to go. Checking on the heroes, do they have smokes on anyone? I don't see them right now, so they would be going in with Vision.
I think Scepter's done. Is it? No. Thought maybe the courier had it on him. Scepter very close to being done for the Ancient Apparition, though, as 3/4 of it. In fact, a bit more. They are being spotted by this ward. They just walked over this ward, and they may suspect this. Oh, no. If they can CYF, this will be a huge kill. BKB immediately put to use. He's going to turn and try to fight and go right to work on XBG. Earn going to keep him alive. He's got to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage. XBG brought down as Inflame re-engages. Dreamy U still has his ulti. Lin doing what he can. In the meantime, CTY tried to engage onto the puck. Yules is put to use. He's going to be able to phase shift out, look for a way out of trouble. Cold Snap, though, going to end up dying to Lin behind the fight. And Inflame, phase shift again, and should be able to get back to safety. In the meantime, ZYF's teeing off on CTY. Lin right there with him, using the armor reduction on that goo, and they bring down the PA. Now the haste rune from Dreamy U. I honestly don't know when he picked that up. Regardless, that was not what you wanted if you're Team DK. You give up not just CTY, but 2 supports and what's going to be a sure Roshan.
Oh man, this puck just bought so much time for LV. I mean, he was the focus fire of both the Panda and the PA for the longest time. PA was like, fuck this, I gotta leave. Ran away, and Panda was like, no, I'm sticking this out. But he spent, like, it was like 10 to 12 seconds of just trying to get this kill on a 900 HP puck, and they couldn't do it. So, screw the whole HP thing. I guess puck doesn't need it, because as long as he doesn't get crit by PA, I think he's fine. If he does get crit, though, he didn't get crit. If he did get crit there, completely different fight. So, a little bit of RNG is in the favor of Inflame there, actually.
Yeah, it was a very close call, but Inflame has played remarkably well all game. He leads our kill board. 8-4-3 for him. The Brew didn't ulti there either. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he couldn't. There's no good opportunity for him. If you watched the interaction of what he had to try to do. I said, he was just tied up with trying to kill Inflame the whole time, and by the time Inflame finally got away, he went back to his team. He's like, guys, where are you? Oh, you're dead. And with CTY being dead, there's no other follow-up damage, really.
Speaking of dead, super dead. Don't like redheads in that neck of the woods. In the meantime, a bottom of fight's broken out. ZYF very low in health. Here we go. Dreamy U has that ulti ready to go. Lin's going to try to run. Demons, in the meantime, use Nature's Guy, so they can't find themselves a target. Demons able to hobble himself to safety. ZYF made it away with very little health as CTY tried to engage. Dreamy U's being tracked by Demon, for lack of a better way to put it. Again, holding on to his ultimate. And I understand what you're saying about, waiting for the right opportunity, but at some point, you just got to pull the trigger, I feel like. And obviously right there, what we just witnessed wasn't the time. I just wonder if maybe they don't walk away with another kill or two if he actually does ulti in that last engagement near that Roche pit.
It makes it even harder now because the Morphling can pretty much just right-click the Pandas. And he doesn't have a care in the world either because he has an Aegis.
Oh, Dreamy U doesn't have the mana, even if he did. Executed gorgeously, and yeah, screw right-click up, but you just blow his face off with a big F-blade. I gotta start calling it an E-blade. Everyone, is the way I say that, does it sound like I'm saying F-blade as in fire blade, or F as in ethereal blade.
Sounds like Eth Blade to me. Context, people.
Right. Context. LV, off of that, though, takes a Tier 2, and now they're rattling their saber at Tier 3. There's going to be a Shackle. Got a ZYF. There's going to be the AA ultimate. And Puck came in. Looks like they're rethinking this. ZYF uses the shotgun once. DDC, a little damage in the back after being hit with the Ice Blast. And looks like is that going to be sufficient to force them back? Yeah. Brewmaster back up in 7 seconds, and they know he hasn't ulted in a long time.
You know, that little small engagement of the Tier 2 from Radiant's side. If you saw, PA actually went in and he first hit crit the Morphling, got him down to about 200 HP, just like that. Imagine if this Windrunner, instead of a Windrunner, was an Elder Titan. Keep in mind the Morphling was picked up in the first 2 from LV. And normally, and I know in the Chinese scene, they love Elder Titan. Especially, who is it? I think it's...
I love that hero, too. Yeah, I love him.
I see it picked up a lot from Chinese teams. It's Vici. They always have Ice, Ice, Ice playing that. And it seems to be a very fantastic hero also against Morphling. It's thought of as one of the best counters to Morphling.
Oh, without a doubt,
it would work so well with the PA. So that would have been a fantastic pickup. I think this game.
Hindsight's 20/20.
It is,
and LV reaping the benefits of the lack of Elder Titan. DK just trying to hold their own, at least for the moment. CTY has so much kill potential. Now he even has a basher. So, he's not lagging that far behind. The game's gotten away a little bit in the last 5 minutes or so, as he's now about 2.5K behind the net worth of the Morphling. But for the most part, he's where he needs to be. They just have to get something working off of a good Brew ulti, off of a good Ice Blast, and let him just clean up house.
This pickup on Tree is so important. This Blink Dagger on Demons is really going to change the game. It's been kind of on and off, a little bit even in these engagements, but I feel like all he has to do now is living armor people, wait until PA jumps in with the BKB, and jump in an Overgrowth, and then PA just does nothing. It's a fantastic pickup here against specifically the BKB on the PA. This is why I thought Manta was just kind of mandatory for PA this game. I really feel like this next fight with this Tree having this Blink Dagger is going to be very, very difficult for DK to execute it. They haven't seen it yet either.
Doesn't help a lot that the Morphling has a butterfly either.
True.
And that, he's going to be hitting. He's hitting for 280-ish damage shot, my friend. Actually, 282. And as big as those crits are from the PA, they have so many tools to just take her out of the fight at least long enough for the Morphling to just walk up, shotgun her in the face, and right-click. And CTY, he is tankier in theory. We're about to see. Look at that! Hits him with the E-Blade for about a third of his health. Now he goes on XBG. He's going to end up being right-click down. Black's there. Can't do anything because of the BKB. Here comes the rotation from DDC. Goes the Mystic Flare uphill. Hits Cold Snap. He's down as well. Shackle not on the mark. Now Black's turn. Giving him the slaps, and CTY has to man up. Will it be enough? No, the age is expired. The age is expired on ZYF, so he's up only on his own power. Brewmaster split is there, but they're bringing down the Pandas so quick. Ultra kill right now for the Morphling, and ZYF is going to prompt the GG. That's a game off of just the pure lethality of ZYF's Morphling that comes to an end when it looked like it could have gone another 10, 15, 20 minutes even.
Yeah.
Instead, that's it. And LV, after giving up a very ugly loss in Game 1, bounces back, wins 2 in a row, and improves their record to 2-0, 2-0 in D2L Eastern play. What a great series, man.
It was very even. A lot of fun things. Not some stale heroes that we see picked up all the time. Some different things, and that was fun to watch. But I would say all in all, today was the Morphling show. Despite him not winning in Game 2 for DK, he still did very, very well. And it seemed to have been the key hero in all 3 of these games. Just all over the place, good farm, able to just output so much damage in every single game. And ZYF really closing out with a fantastic exit performance there, just picking off everyone so close to a rampage, but it was stolen by the bastard Lin.
DK, even though they lose the series, I actually feel like they should be, well, I can't speak for them, to be honest. I have no idea as I'm getting reacquainted with the new look DK. But I'm encouraged, and I think LV is a better team than they're currently given credit for because they are a relatively new advent and people haven't gotten to know just how talented these players are. I mean, DDC's a name most people recognize. Lynn and Flame. Demons, again, I think is a phenomenal support player that people are going to fall in love with over time. And I think that it's a team that's going to really have a lot of top-end potential, a lot of upside as they develop as a squad and as they adjust to what Dota is now in a post-TI4 world. Thanks again for being a part of the broadcast, guys. I'm your host, Aaron AC Chambers, drawing the night to a close. The voice on the other side providing the co-commentary, his name is Trouf. Before we head out for the night, Trouf, any thoughts on the way out the door?
Oh, just a great series, and make sure you just buy the ticket to tune in more, because it is a value ticket too. I'll tell you that. You're going to get a lot out of it. But it's fun to watch, especially the Eastern scene. I haven't before this tournament got to watch too much of it, and it's cool to have a first-hand look at to see what the players do and what they draft and what their tendencies are. So I know for a fact now that they love Morphling and AA.
Yeah, for sure. As Trouf said, make sure you check out the ticket. There are going to be two parts to that. As of right now, originally for the last bunch of seasons, it's been a $9.99 ticket with item bundles. This time around, we wanted to give you more of an option as a viewer. We've split them up. There will be a very sexy mace for Faceless Void that'll be going in at the end of the month. That'll be priced at $4.99, and the ticket to watch in-game is only $4.99. You're talking in excess of 60 best of threes or better, and many of those are going to be on LAN as well. So for $4.99, you can not only watch in-game if you're watching on stream in one bit of a more custom experience, I should say, or maybe a little bit more of an engaging experience, however you want to phrase it, but it will contribute to our prize pool, which does extend down not just to like the top 4 teams. It's going to be a lot of other teams. Though any who make it into our second phase are going to be benefiting from your support of this tournament. So those listening in game now, thank you very much. Those listening on stream, would love it if you would consider that. If not, hey, just hang out here with us on Twitch. We'll be happy too. Again,